I thought I would just start out asking each of you to just for a comment on resilience.
Narrative storytelling, I mean, the good characters are people who have transformed.
Shock is the word that kept coming up for me around resilience. And it's, to me, resilience is the creativity that takes place after you have been shocked. You know, you have to recreate your mind and your life.
Spirit creates resilience, empowerment, transformation, determination. It's letting go and also holding on.
There's a big difference between surviving and thriving, or being alive and living, and resilience is the difference.
A Greek philosopher by the name of Heraclitus said, he coined the phrase pantarei. Pantarei in Greek means everything flows. And most people today who read those philosophers would say that what he said actually is that the only constant thing in the world is change. And man cannot step into the same river twice, because it is not the same river and he's not the same man. What does that mean? That means we need to reinvent ourselves every day.
But as a community, just a couple of years ago, we suffered through a terrible storm where we're still in some ways recovering. And I now think about resilience not only as after, but in fact preparing for resilience. How can we be, as a community in my case, resilient? But I wonder how we think about that as individuals.
I think a key to resilience is building an emotional container.
A better term, but I mean, he found community through his individual crisis. And I mean, that was true of many of the people that I filmed.
I think of 9/11, where there was a feeling in New York that was different, and I think everybody felt it, and there was a sense of connectedness. There was a sense of my own everyday thoughts are not important compared to some collective thing that we were sharing. If we're able to access that set of values and that state of being where we're connected to each other and we're thinking about something bigger than what we find out is pretty unimportant on a day like that, and if we can live up to that on other days and take that seriously collectively, I think that's taking us a long way in being prepared as a community for things like that.
I know that all the people in this room have experienced some difficulties, met some challenges throughout all their lives, and this kind of connection will create community.
When we're preparing ourselves for the best or the worst, we're shutting ourselves down for how we could actually feel.
I have two parents who are 82 and 86, and they're not going to be here forever. There actually does need to be some preparing in our little family world for the death of my parents. About it, I think, has started to make us have some conversations that we wouldn't have had otherwise, that in fact are going to prepare my parents for when it happens and prepare us as a family.
For me, anyway, it's about expanding my little corner of the world. So it's about Beechwood, where you're expanding out. You're not just sitting here in your house. You're reaching out. And I think that it's that next step that we can all think about taking. It's the thing that happens, and then it's so cliche, but it's what we do with it.